Since 1947, Whipple Service Champions has been Utah's most trusted name for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical services. Got a high-priced repair bill from another company and you're just not sure about it? Call Whipple. Get a free, no-pressure estimate or bring us their quote for an honest second opinion. Totally free. Whipple Service Champions, Utah's first place for second opinions since 1947. Call 385-273-7167 for your free estimate today. 385-273-7167.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
All clear and open once again westbound I-80 from the crash at Redwood Road, including the ramps from I-15 either direction in 5th South. In Riverton, we have a crash blocking all lanes of travel. This is westbound 126 South. It's about a block after Redwood Road, and you'll see a lot of emergency crews on the scene. It is causing delays. Traffic's rough, but your parking lot doesn't have to be. Keep it smoother than your summer playlist with GoPave Utah. Call or visit gopavutah.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
We're expecting to see highs in the 90s today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, breaking daily heat records. On Thursday, temperatures drop to the low 80s and we'll continue to see sun through the weekend. Right now, it is 86 and partly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside with Ethan Millard.
Alex, that's a great way to get your kids off social media.
And Alex Curie.
Yeah, my real goal with the new social media stuff is to show up in my kids' feed.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
Welcome, everybody. You're listening to KSL Brightside.
Hey, now, there we go.
I'm Ethan Millard. I've got Alex Curie here with me, and we might have a little bit of breaking news here to deal with. Of course, we learned just this morning that of the 15 Americans on the hantavirus cruise ship, 3 of them were Utahns, and so they're making their way back here. And we've already got some statements from the Health and Human Services that we're going to read to you. But in the meantime, the Department of Health and Human Services is planning a media event, which could start at any time. We're actually watching the live feed right now, and they're getting lights set up, and they're getting
some microphones put in place.
Yeah, they're getting it all worked out. And so we're going to bring you their comments as soon as they happen. But you can find the story right now on KSL.com where oh, they're going? Okay.
Yeah, looks like they're going to.
This is Tracy Gruber, who is a commissioner with the Utah Department of Health and Human Services.
We understand the concerns surrounding this virus and the news that has come out. And of course, we want the quick and healthy return of the Utahns who we've been told were passengers on the ship. Our responsibility at the Department of Health and Human Services is to protect the health of Utahns, and we're taking that responsibility very seriously. We're committed to transparency to the public while also maintaining the important privacy of the 3 individuals who we've been told are Utahns and were passengers. The Utah Department of Health and Human Services is coordinating very closely with our 13 local health departments, of course, our federal partners, and of course, the governor has been fully briefed on the situation and has also been coordinating with his counterparts, including Governor Pillen from Nebraska. I want to emphasize again that the risk to the public is extremely low. The virus typically requires close, prolonged contact with a symptomatic individual, and I have Dr. Alicia Nolan here with me, the state epidemiologist, to talk a little bit more about that, along with the Department of State Executive Medical Director, Stacy Bank. All of the passengers are currently at facilities in either Atlanta or Nebraska, and the 3 Utahns will not return back to Utah until once the health officials have deemed them safe to do so. At this time, to protect their privacy, we're not providing more specific information about them. And again, want to emphasize that this is a unified approach between state, local, and federal officials. We're grateful to our federal partners and their partnership in ensuring that Utah has information that it needs so that we can ensure the safety of all Utahns. And once again, the risk to the public is extremely low, and I'll have Dr. Alicia Nolan, the state epidemiologist, provide a little bit more information.
Thank you, Commissioner Gruber. So I do want to just start by saying I really am sending my thoughts to those people who were on the boat who are now repatriated here to the United States. And I know this has been a horribly stressful time for them and for their families. And I really can only imagine how difficult these last few weeks are. I think the first thing I want to say is I want to address what we all are concerned about. I know there's a lot of people thinking that this might be our next big outbreak, and I really want to reassure people that this is a very different disease than what we had to deal with recently during the pandemic. Hantavirus, this specific variant of hantavirus, has been known about for decades. We have good information about how it is transmitted. We know that it does require people to be quite close for an extended period of time for them to transmit to one person to the next, and also that people need to have symptoms for them to pass on the infection. So this is not a new virus. This is not something we don't know about. We know how to control this infection, and in fact, public health systems here in the United States, here in Utah, and actually around the world are well trained to do this. So we look forward to welcoming back the Utahns who were on this boat, but we will take every precaution to make sure that they don't infect anyone else and make sure that they also have all the medical care they need in case they do develop symptoms. With that, I think we'll just open it up to questions. We're happy to answer any questions that people have.
Commissioner, can I ask you a question about the actual journey for each of these Utahns involved in this, what that quarantine is like, what that length is of that, and how they keep them from infecting others?
Yeah, well, I will have Dr. Nolan respond to that. In the facilities that the passengers are in either Nebraska or Georgia, they are under strict isolation, either in a quarantine type facility or in a medical facility if they did in fact develop symptoms. We know that there are a few people who are in biocontainment facilities in either Georgia or Nebraska, but beyond that, we don't have any additional information. And Dr. Nolan could speak to the length of the quarantine.
So as mentioned, so the people were transmitted from the boat to the quarantine facility using a non-commercial flight, so a private flight, so that other people were not exposed, and that was totally appropriate. We know that people sitting close to each other on planes can transmit infections like this, so the utmost precaution was taken for that. And then the people are staying in places where they have this facility set up to make sure that viruses cannot be transmitted. So it has very high quality air exchanges in these rooms so that it's not that one person gets air from another room that it could possibly transmit, even if that were a possibility. These individuals will need to be monitored for 42 days. The hantavirus can take up to 6 weeks for people to develop symptoms, and so that's why there'll be such a long time watching them for any symptoms.
What are those symptoms?
So it usually begins really as a fairly generic illness. They tend to have cough, fever, some GI complaints. It's actually pretty much like many other common illnesses we have. But then after a few days, they can go on to get the more severe illnesses. And the things that really cause people to get very sick and have to get hospitalized is the respiratory illness. So they start having difficulties breathing, and that's where they need medical attention.
The last time there were this many journalists in a room, at least for me, talking about a virus was a few years ago. So I have to wonder, it's not that serious, transmission is low. Do you think just the response is just and the extra caution is because we came out of a pandemic, or what do you make of that? Is this?
Yeah. Well, first I'll mention we have had conferences like this about measles recently. But yes, I think the whole world is nervous, certainly because we all lived through something that was really traumatic 6 years ago. And in some ways this does seem similar, and I can understand why people are concerned that this might be similar, but it is not. The coronavirus was a new virus. It was extremely mutated to what had been circulating before, and therefore it was very hard for public health or medical professionals to know what to expect from that virus. This, on the other hand, is not highly mutated. It is not something that is brand new. It's certainly new to the United States, but it is well known in South America. And so, therefore, it is possible to know what are the correct protective measures are, and we can control it before it gets outside of this small group of people.
Thank you. Is there anything you can give us more about? I can't imagine going on a cruise to watch for animals and this becomes your new reality. What is this like for those individuals, like these people from Utah? Do you have any insight on that?
We don't at this point. This is an evolving situation. We just were notified just recently that there were Utah passengers on the boat, and so we're really trying to get as much information as we can to understand that. And I think our public health professionals, who do an excellent job of tracking these types of situations and understanding what transpired, is something that the entire public health community is trained to do and will be doing very diligently, I would think, over the next several weeks.
You probably have this in the press release, but I get it, HIPAA. Do we have ages? Are they adults, children? And also, why Nebraska and Alaska? Why are they in those specific states?
Well, we have no demographic information about the passengers who were on the boat from Utah, and we're still trying to get as much information as we can. We hope to have some more soon, but again, as you pointed out, HIPAA prevents us from sharing medical information. My understanding is Nebraska and Georgia, there are biocontainment facilities, there's isolation facilities, there are medical professionals there who have familiarity with these types of illnesses, and so they wanted to make sure that they had the capacity at the Nebraska facility and felt, I guess, that they needed a couple of those biocontainment units in Emory, so they tapped into those to treat the passengers who were coming back to the United States.
So they won't be able to return to Utah for at least 2 weeks, you said, right? Well, that contract is completed.
We don't have that information yet. I think everybody's trying to, right now, they were giving the passengers an opportunity to get some rest. They were on an incredibly long journey from the time they left for their vacation to now, so they were giving them an opportunity to get some rest, and then they were going to start to assess the patients, and they will probably make that determination after that point, at which point, when they do get back to their home states, the various state health departments, so in this case the Utah Department of Health and Human Services and our local health departments, will be coordinating very closely to monitor the health of these individuals for that duration. But at this point, we don't know exactly when they're going to be going back to their home states.
We don't know if they're any of the ones that were sickened or anything like that.
We do not have that information, unfortunately. Again, we're committed to being transparent to the extent that we can while protecting their privacy, and we would anticipate having more information as it becomes available to us as the situation unfolds. But again, the risk to the public is incredibly low. Utahns should feel very comfortable and very safe at this point. These passengers are isolated and not out and about at this point, and so the risk remains very low.
What about this is making it so unique that all of us are here, you guys are having a press conference? Is it the fact that it was from a cruise ship, or on a virus you don't hear too often? Why is this so unique that we're all here?
I think a large part of why we're here, and it's gotten so much news attention, is because we still are we are feeling the effects of the pandemic. And I think a lot of people are scared that this is going to be another pandemic. So I think that certainly triggered some people and has caused a lot of attention. I also do think the word hantavirus is one of the scarier ones to hear. And so I think that also has caught people's attention. And we're here because we want to be transparent. We want people in Utah to know what the situation is, and to express the fact that this is not something that they need to be concerned about.
Okay, sorry, you probably mentioned this already, but we were talking about, several weeks of being like sequestered by themselves in a facility. With the virus, we quarantine at home. But like when they're at a facility, are they like by themselves in a room? Like what does that isolation look like exactly?
So from my understanding, the Nebraska facility, the way they have been describing it is it's a hotel with extra air cleaning facilities. So they are asked to stay in their own hotel room. They have access to TV. They actually mentioned they also have access to like exercise equipment. So it really is meant to be something fairly comfortable for these people to stay in while they get evaluated, and it can be determined whether or not they need to stay there for the full 42 days, or if they're safe to come back to their home and stay in their own home for that 42 days.
Any more questions? Still under investigation of how it broke out to begin with, right?
Yes.
Most of us think mouse, but we're not sure.
Well, so yes, we do know that hantavirus, there's many different hantaviruses across the world, and all of them are transmitted from rodent droppings. So usually it's rodent droppings that get aerosolized, either because somebody's cleaning or it's some construction or something like that, and people inhale that virus. And it is known that the specific one down in South America called the Andes virus can go, it comes from rodents in that way, but then it can go person to person. And so it is definitely reasonable that somebody was exposed when they were in the South America area, and then brought it onto the ship with them. That is my understanding. Certainly I think WHO, other experts are going to be looking into exactly how it got introduced.
All right, we've been listening to a press conference with the Utah Department of Health and Human Services Commissioner Tracy Gruber and an epidemiologist from the state of Utah, Dr. Alicia Nolan. And they've done a pretty good job of kind of explaining where they are. Again, to wrap it up, there were 3 Utahns that were on that hantavirus cruise ship that have captured the world's attention. And they're not home yet. They're off the ship, but they're on a quarantine facility.
So there's 2 things that capture the attention from what we, 1, talked about last week, and then 2, what we kind of got the breakdown from the state was, look, everyone's freaked out about what happened when COVID hit because it was something we didn't know much about. So they wanted to make sure,
level of interest.
Right. So they just wanted to make sure that everyone knew what the nature of this disease was compared to with what we went through 6 years ago.
That's right.
And I'm assuming that most of that has to do with like, hey, look, not a lot of people have the ability to be able to say, hey, I'm an epidemiologist. I know exactly how this thing works and how this thing breaks down. And so now we're looking at it, and we're being told that it's a very, very different deal, which we kind of knew, but at the same time, you still have to let people know, like, it doesn't just act differently. This is something that acts the exact same way that it has, according to Alicia Nolan, the state epidemiologist, said it's acted like this for decades. This is the way that it works, and we know how to contain it. And so they're just being precautionary, obviously, with all of this, and it's gotten probably more news coverage across the world only because of where we were 6 years ago with the outbreak of COVID-19, a very, very different, albeit similar. I think the reason because of the pulmonary aspect to it, people are like, oh boy, this is something that feels a little bit different. So, or it feels almost the same, and it's not. So they wanted to make sure that happens. We'll bring you more. As soon as we get more of that information as well, if they update all this information, we'll be able to give that to you as well right here on KSL News Radio. Speaking of KSL News Radio, we are taking a break, and we'll come right back after this break, Ethan. We're going to get right back into Brightside. We're going to jump in. We've got tons of things to cover today, all the way up until 3 o'clock, so stay right here with us. It is 102.7 FM, 1160 AM, KSL News Radio, KSL Brightside.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home. Hey folks, Jay Broadbent here from Alpine Home Medical. I've been helping folks breathe easier for 29 years now. Trust me, at my age, I know a thing or two about needing a good night's sleep. Is your CPAP mask old and nasty? Are your masks, filters, or tubing from the pre-COVID era? Or just plain tired of the hassle of ordering supplies yourself? Switch to our resupply program. We handle everything. Automatic shipment straight to your door. Insurance billing and expert support. It's quick, easy, and keeps your sleep therapy on track. Doesn't matter where you got your machine from, anyone can join. Head to alpinehomemedical.com, click on the Easy Resupply button. That's alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
My friend Joey loves to use old familiar sayings.
You know what they say?
The problem is,
Don't look at a gift horse, cause you can't make them drink.
he gets a lot of them mixed up.
People who live in glass houses
Here it comes.
shouldn't cry over spilt milk.
There are also a lot of sayings in the financial world, like, you'll pay lower taxes in retirement. But for many people, it's just not true. You may have done a great job saving in that 401k or IRA, but Uncle Sam is ready to grab a big portion of that money. The team at Galileo Wealth Management can help with strategies that you can start now to lower your tax bill in the future. More for you and less for Uncle Sam.
Or as they say, an apple a day is worth two in the bush.
Get the facts on your tax bill in retirement. Call Galileo Wealth today at 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online at GalileoWealth.com.
And remember, a stitch in time keeps the doctor away. It does, you know.
Any Hour Services can help unclog any drain in your house, whether you have a backup, a clog, or a slow drain you want fixed. Call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex, the show you didn't know you needed and still don't on KSL News Radio.
All right, welcome back. This is KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Millett. I got Alex Keary here with me, and we just watched the press conference from the Utah State Department of Health and Human Services. Their Commissioner Tracy Gruber was joined by state epidemiologist Dr. Leisha Nolan, and they talked about the three Utahns who we found out were on that hantavirus cruise ship. And so this is what we know. They were flown apparently by private charter from the ship to they're in a facility. I got the impression, so there are two quarantine facilities that they're using for these patients. There are 15 Americans in total. Some are in Atlanta, some are in Nebraska. I got the impression, and I was maybe someone asked it directly. I was a little annoyed. It didn't seem like anyone asked it directly. I got the impression that the Utahns were in Nebraska.
Yes.
Is that what you understood?
Said. Yeah, and then I think they're being a little bit sheepish about answering straightforward enough about
they were saying they kept saying they were worried about.
But they did say that patient
privacy.
Yeah, and they did say that that Governor Cox was in really good communication with Nebraska's governor.
So they're in Nebraska,
and so didn't mention anything about about. And Atlanta seems like it's something. It was brought up that there weren't significant differences in the facilities. It made it sound like, because Nebraska, they're staying at a hotel that's like got nice air filters. I think Atlanta, they're in more of an actual like medical facility, so there may be some differentiating factors there.
And then
I'm not gonna. I don't know we can't really speculate on that, except for the fact that I was actually looking this morning. They go blah 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 Nebraska, quarantine in Nebraska. And I thought, why? Do they have the special hotels there? Is there a CDC outpost like that we're not necessarily aware of? I'm not really sure.
It's a place out in the middle of the cornfields, and they looked at that and they said, "This is far enough away."
Well, the air exchange, it's just because
it's the corn.
So beautiful out here.
So I did notice. So there was a lot they didn't share. They kept saying we want to protect patient privacy, and I get that.
It's fine.
But we can still kind of read between the lines in a few places. So, for example, Dr. Nolan talked about what would happen, quote, if they do develop symptoms, which kind of led me to believe that at this point they were just monitoring it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm reading too much between the lines there, but that's kind of the impression I got.
I want the suppositions and guessing all that we can do. That's all we have right now, Ethan. It's just stuff to kind of halfway guess on. Yeah.
But, they're watching it closely. And also it did seem like, and I did get this impression from Dr. Nolan, that a lot of what we're going through now is because we all remember COVID so
It's the only
vividly.
reason. She's basically like the only reason we're all here today.
It's an abundance of caution.
Is because of how much everyone freaked out as the public, because we didn't know.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, the experts at the front end of COVID-19 didn't know either, because it had mutated so much. And she even mentioned that the mutation of that virus, and the word corona obviously is like, it's a new virus, right? It was a very, very new thing. It had mutated so vastly from what it used to be. They were like, we are familiar with this strain of hantavirus. We are familiar with how it's treated. This is the same exact strain that we've dealt with for decades.
It's not new.
So there's
a
good
big
news
part
to
of
that. And on top of it, can you get it by coming in close contact with people? And then the other bit of info that I thought was interesting too, Ethan, was you have to be symptomatic to pass on the symptoms in this case, right? Which was a big, scary mystery with coronavirus too. With COVID, was you could have it and pass on the symptoms and never have a symptom yourself. And this is not the case with this one. So all of these things were basically to try to assuage the public. And look, what I can't wait for is when they go, here they are, the Utah 3. And they're sitting in front of the press conference, and they're like, we all just wanted to meet you. Just shake your hand. You guys made it. You represented Utah as the ones who were on the ship, or as they kept calling it in the press conference, the boat. The boat.
How did you feel about the quarantine facility in Nebraska?
Well, when we landed down there after the private flight, then they look at each other and go, that was my first private flight ever. I mean, listen. The reality is they're the likelihood of them having hantavirus is pretty darn freaking low.
It seems low. Would you expose yourself to a small chance of hantavirus?
But you know what this is going to be? Jet? This is going to be great for them in the long run. Here's why.
Why?
Because they are going to get all sorts of money back from the cruise, guaranteed, or another cruise that they're going to end up being enlisted in, and they're going to get on that thing. And then on top of it, funnest week and a half they've ever had in their life. It was a little bit dicey at the beginning there, but when they took that private jet home from Europe, from the Canary Islands, when we got on the private flight in the Canary Islands, I thought, honey, hold my hand. I don't know where we're going. It's a place called Nebraska. I haven't been to the U.S. in a while. It is pretty fun to watch how they do this whole thing, and they have to have all this, and it's all based off of the freak out factor from 6 years ago.
Now they have to sit there in that hotel where they probably can't remember their password to Netflix, which is something.
They have to pay $9.99 a day for the good Wi-Fi at the hotel. They might get it for free.
This is something that drives me crazy about hotels now. Is they have hardly any channels, but then they offer you a chance to log into Netflix if you want, which drives me crazy. Do I walk around with my Netflix password? I mean,
no, it is pretty tough when you don't remember it ever. Yeah, but you can do the thing where you log in with the phone.
But Netflix isn't on my phone. Netflix isn't on my phone.
Oh, it isn't? Why not?
Well, I don't have Netflix on my phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Other people do in the entire world, by the way.
Well, that's wonderful for them.
Hey, here's what we're going to do. We'll take another break here. And if there are any updates that the state gives us that we see from the national side of things as well, on the hantavirus updates that we've been kind of following through. We started out last week going, this isn't going to last, and then here we are, now to this portion of the week where we have a handful, more than a dozen Americans spread across either Atlanta or Nebraska, 3 Utahns, part of those 15 people who came back from the cruise and are being monitored by health officials. So we'll come back. We've got more to go. We've got a news break here, and then when we return, let's jump into the rest of the program. We have all sorts of things to get into still today, so stay right here with us. More to go. It is KSL Brightside, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
1:31 at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. Plan some extra time to get out of the airport this month starting today. Most lanes will be closed for repaving work. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
Memorial Day is coming up, and Salt Lake City International Airport spokesperson says to plan a little extra time into your airport travel plans. The roads haven't been repaved for 15 years, despite several new additions and remodels that have happened since then. Officials say they will keep 2 lanes open, but the single airport exit means it will get very busy at pickup and drop-off times.
Construction is planned to go through May 27th. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. 18 people on the Atlantic cruise ship struck by hantavirus are back in the United States. ABC's Jim Ryan says 16 of them are in quarantine at the University of Nebraska Medical Center.
That includes one in a biocontainment unit, a bubble. The other 2 were taken to Atlanta's Emory University for further assessment and care. Dr. Brendan Jackson of the CDC says those testing negative and showing no symptoms might soon be able to go home.
We want to do this in the least restrictive way possible that is still safe, that protects the health and safety of both the passengers and their communities.
For everyone who was aboard the Hondias, the next 42 days will be spent carefully watching for symptoms of hantavirus. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
3 passengers that were on the ship live here in Utah. The Department of Health and Human Services says they're continuing to monitor them, and the risk to the public is low. Your money at this moment, the Dow is up 60 points. The S&P is up 10. And coming up, highs in the 90s. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time 1:33.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
I'm Christian Staples with Arctic Spas. Wellness starts at home. At Arctic Spas, we have what you need for home wellness. Hot tubs provide physical and mental relaxation, improve circulation, and stimulate better sleep, all while giving the perfect time to connect with loved ones. Swim spas and all-weather pools provide at-home, low-impact exercise, a break from gravity, and family fun. Cold tubs provide muscle recovery, reduce soreness, and provide the best mental boost. Saunas help you recover, detox, and improve your cardiovascular health. This can all be done at your home, ready whenever you are, and you can find it all at Arctic Spas. We are here to help you relax, exercise, and recover. We make it easy for you. You can find out more at ArcticSpasUtah.com or stop by one of our 3 stores covering all of Utah in Salt Lake, American Fork, and St. George. Arctic Spa, the only spa built for Utah's harsh climate.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Join us at Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, our biggest trade event of the year, May 14th through the 17th. Trade in your RV and get the highest value guaranteed. Then upgrade for less with new RVs starting as low as $94 a month. Plus, take 25% off select maintenance services. Save up to 40% on camp-ready must-haves. And enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Red, White, and New Trade event at your local Camping World, May 14th through the 17th. We'll see you there.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Ricky Meese.
A crash in Holiday, southbound Highland Drive, 4500 south, blocking a right lane. In West Jordan, crews remain on the scene of this crash at the intersection of Mountain View Corridor, 7800 south. And westbound lanes still blocked with the crash in Riverton. It's in the final cleanup stages. Westbound 126 south, about a block and a half after Redwood Road. No matter the weather, your feet can feel fantastic. Find the Good Feet location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
We're expecting a record-breaking high today of 91 degrees. We could see more record-breaking temps tomorrow with a high of 93, and then temperatures fall back to the 80s on Thursday. Right now it is 88 and partly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com for Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside with Ethan Miller.
Is this what they mean by getting the band back together again?
And Alex Keary.
Yeah, except this one is a reunion tour nobody asked for.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Miller. I got Alex Keary here with me, and we sure do appreciate you taking time out to watch this or to listen to the show. You can also watch it, by the way. So at noon, Alex and I kick off a special 1-hour live stream on YouTube. And so we'd love to have you there. If you've got time kind of during your lunch break to pull us up at your desk, then we would love to have you join us. It's always a cool group of people in there chatting and while we do the show, which is admittedly, even though strictly speaking it's new content, it is admittedly a little bit of show prep for when we go
on top of that,
air.
We can get a little bit loose in that show.
It's pretty fun.
It's way fun. I mean, we kind of get a little bit loose on this program, but we have much more strict orders to, be a little bit more along the lines. And so I love being able to horse around a little bit in the stream, so you can join us there as well. And then of course we replay it at night as well. But at the same time, you get it live, you have fun at your lunch hour, like you said, Ethan, and there you go.
Before we jump into the morality police, I got a couple of texts here coming in at 57500. This one says, tell Alex to take a back seat. Not everyone has Netflix on their phone or even has Netflix.
Well, listen, I realized, you don't have Netflix on your phone for real? I thought you were just doing it for a bit. And then I realized the difference between you and I is we have young kids. The Netflix on my phone is not like me going, Ethan, before we get to this next break here, I got a couple of episodes of Fill in the Blank I got to catch up on. It's me handing it to my kids.
That's right.
So they don't have to parent. That's all.
Yeah, that's
extreme.
Right.
That's just.
It's an emergency exit. It's a parenting emergency
good.
Exit. And then Daniel's texted, "You got to get a password manager, Ethan." And I guess that's true. That would help. But that's not what we're talking about now. We're going to do a little bit of morality police.
Yes, we are.
Some controversy brewing over in Florida.
Navigating the thin blue line between right and wrong. Ethan and Alex are the morality police.
Yes, we are the morality police, and this one is a little bit of a tricky one because
very tricky.
Over the last year, a new law in Florida has allowed pregnant women to have a permit to park in traditional disabled parking spaces, and which seems like a really, really nice thing to do for pregnant women. I certainly would never in a million years suggest that that they don't deserve some kind of accommodations. They absolutely do.
I know.
But it's become controversial because now people are starting to kind of push back. And I've got this. It's an opinion piece that was published in the Herald Tribune down there in I think it was in Sarasota. It says this. All right, I'm just going to read from this individual's opinion.
Sure.
He says, "I'm a senior, bilateral below the knee amputee from severe septic shock in December 2021. I'm glad to be alive. When I go out, I wear prosthetic legs. I also require a walker and a wheelchair, which weighs more than 50 pounds. And I need my caregiver who drives me places and assists me in transferring. Okay. I have a valid Florida disabled parking permit.
Okay.
But in Florida, it is often difficult to find any of these parking spaces available on any given day or time."
Yeah.
And he's saying that it's because there's so many pregnant women parking in the disabled parking spots. And he's saying that this Florida law actually violates the Americans with Disabilities Act because while pregnant women have a lot going on, they're not, strictly speaking, disabled.
This is gutsy to write this opinion piece. However,
I think it's gutsy for us to try and talk about it.
Well,
I don't think it's gutsy for him to write it because he's got his own perspective.
No, I get it. What I'm saying
is
that
gutsy what you and I are doing right now.
Oh, no. Listen, us talking about it is like this because I'll take a back seat to both of these groups and go, man,
just fight it out.
You go, man, you got to, absolutely, you got to get out of the way for this guy and for this lady. And then when that guy's going, yep, when you have the discussion about which disability is more disabled, and like you said, strictly speaking, somebody who's pregnant is not considered quote unquote disabled.
Listen,
I will say I think it's crazy to me because you could never. Okay, let me give you an example.
Okay,
up in Kaysville,
you're doing great. By the way, you're doing great. I can see how much stress you're under trying to talk about this.
Okay, up in Kaysville. All right.
Okay.
There's a grocery store called Bowman's. All right. So if you're not familiar with that community, it's like it's the donut provider of the area. Okay.
Bowman's,
the donut provider of the area.
Great.
And they in their parking lot they have some I think they have spots for active military and veterans. They have some and again these aren't legal things But then they have one. Then they have the actual handicap stalls at the front of the store. But then they have like expectant mothers. They have a senior parking space.
They're just trying to divide us. They're just trying to divide us.
So
pit us against each other.
Here's what happened. I almost got into a fist fight with a lady. No, not really. But I got out of my car because I parked in the expectant mother spot.
Okay.
Got out. This was a couple of years ago. Got out, and lady goes, "Huh? So you're pregnant, huh?" Like immediately. Boom.
Yeah, right on top of you.
And I went. No.
Did you say, do I look like I'm not pregnant?
I should have gone that route. I should have gone full 2026 on her and be like, excuse you. No, I went, I am not. But the 9-month pregnant lady in the front passenger seat might want a word if you'd like to talk to her about it. She immediately.
She withdrew.
Yes.
She disengaged. She had to.
Yeah. And it wasn't like me going, yes, I got the spot. Honey, come with me in the car so I can get that parking spot 4 before there. We were going to the store, and then she went, hold on, just go in. I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out. But she was on the verge of giving birth, within weeks. And this lady comes up and just gets right in my face. And then I was like, oh, no, let's go over and talk to the 9-month pregnant lady.
Right.
And I remember thinking to myself, this is the weirdest thing. That, by the way, is not even like a law or anything. It was just a parking spot that has a picture of a stork on it that Bowman's puts there.
Right.
And then we started to have this fight. Not really. It wasn't a back and forth. I just said, no, but she is. She's 9 months pregnant. So, and again, I don't want to go back and forth about who's more, deserving of a parking spot than somebody else. But I will say that, like, if you hand them out a lot, you are diluting a lot of the. I'm saying that the handicapped parking spots in Florida, there are so few of the actual parking permits themselves or the parking spots themselves. When you're handing out all the permits, it's a hard thing because then you just go, all right, you guys are all at your own devices here. But I would imagine there are people who go into parking lots, they have handicap placards, but they can't park in the spots because they are not just full of people who – there may be people who are parking there illegally, but there are also people – they're full. Right, and so then it's a tough thing to be able to get to, but that's an interesting take for this guy to go. Pregnant people don't deserve it. I do.
Well, I feel like I read something that I think that helped me settle on a side here. Okay, and because I think that we can settle on a side and make a decision because this is a point at which sometimes a community or a court has to step in and make a decision, right? And someone's going to be happy and someone's going to be sad, and I think I know how that decision needs to go. A woman named Olivia Keller has filed a lawsuit against this law. She's a woman who has a motorized wheelchair. She was born without arms. She uses a power chair in a van with a side ramp. She said this. She said those accommodations, okay, the parking spaces, don't exist just to make our lives easier. They exist to make our lives possible. And I think that that's a really critical point because for someone like, what's his? I don't have his name that we read the
opinion piece.
The opinion piece from, or for Olivia Keller, if they can't park in those spots, it's not just inconvenient. Right. They can't go shopping.
Right.
And we have done a lot in our nation to open up our community to make sure that all Americans can get out and play a role in the community, that they don't have to be closed up in their house because of lack of access. And so I do kind of sympathize with this, and I feel like when this lawsuit moves through, that these the pregnant woman handicap parking decals will go away, and they probably should, unless stores want to put in expectant mother parking.
I'm just going to write down. I'm just going to pencil in real quick, Ethan. Doesn't care about pregnant women's rights. No, I'm just penciling it in.
Well, but but there's a definition of disabled, right?
No, I'm sure.
Like there's a definition for who can legally park there in those spaces, and with all the challenges, being pregnant is not, strictly speaking.
Keep going.
Being disabled, it's not the same thing.
No, I know.
Have I overstepped? Did I go too far?
I just wish you would allow.
Alex is looking at me weird.
I just don't like offending any of these groups at all. Like,
well,
I want no one to be. Yeah. I want no one to.
But
get,
it was Olivia Keller. Her point that look, these parking spaces, these disabled parking spaces are not for convenience. They are a necessity for us to be able to do basic things like shopping for food. And that reading her say that's when I said, okay, I get that. That. So what stores need to do is they need to put in expectant mother
which is
spots,
what they've
which
done.
are in addition to the required disabled parking.
Right.
That's,
and
I think, what has to be done.
Your store has the ability to, I mean, wherever you pull in like a Lowe's and they have the active and veteran parking spot, the active military and veteran parking spaces, things like that. You go into some of these places and they go, hey, look, it's a private parking area. We, by law, have to put in X amount of parking spots for handicap patrons, the people who have the handicap placards. And then they go, but we're also going to go expectant mothers. We're going to go active military, whatever it might be. You put those in at your own
Guy's named Ethan.
Yeah, sure. However you want to put this up.
For that.
I do love when they're like, this is for the employee of the month. And I'm always like, come on, we needed that spot, man.
This text came in. Very rare for me to be on board with Ethan.
I know. Me too. Yeah. I know where you're at, but I get what you're saying. And I understand where once you dilute that pool, once it gets to be such a large pool of people who are considered like, hey, you can all park in that, then you start to neglect the people that probably need it the most, like you were saying. And it's a tough line to walk on because it does feel like you're favoring one group over another, or you're trying to lessen, like, of course, somebody who's pregnant, of course you want to be able to make sure that they are accommodated for.
Yeah.
But they don't need the same accommodation in most cases that a person who is trying to get to the store to get their shopping done. And if they don't have that spot there in a real, I mean, look, this person's driving around with a caregiver. You know what I mean? Like that's a very different situation here. So, all right, we're going to take another break here. We're going to come back, and around the corner, we've got tons more to be able to bring you. We've got an hour plus of the program, and we still have to be able to get to some of these great stories. And again, if you missed any of our hantavirus press conference or the media scrum that was held a little bit earlier, and you missed some of the finer points as to symptoms and things like that to expect with hantavirus, if you were, of course, hit with it, we'll bring you up to date on what the difference is between hantavirus and COVID and all those things. So stay with us right here. It is KSL News Radio.
This is Nate Orchard from Advanced Window Products. When you live in Utah, your windows do a lot more than let the light in. They protect your home from freezing winters, blazing summers, and everything in between. That's why Advanced Window Products builds every window for your local climate. No middleman, no out-of-state delays, just factory direct quality, custom made for your home. Imagine a quieter home, a warmer home, a cooler home. Our high-efficiency vinyl windows are engineered to lower your energy bills and boost your comfort all year round. And installation is done by our own certified in-house crews, never subcontractors. That's why Utah homeowners give us 5-star reviews. Right now, take advantage of our anniversary sale. For a limited time, get $2,500 off when you buy 10 or more windows. Call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. For 40 years, Advanced Window Products has been the name Utah trusts for custom replacement windows and sliding glass doors. Advanced Window Products, built here, installed here, trusted here. Call 801-850-9100 for that $2,500 off, or visit us at advancedwindows.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex. The news just keeps getting weirder on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back. This is KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Millett. I got Alex Geary here with me. And it's true, we did spend the first half of this hour talking about the hantavirus cruise ship. I have something else I wanted to talk about right here. And I know you mentioned the hantavirus. I hope that you will let me do a brief hantavirus update for people who are just tuning in, and then a pivot. Is that all right?
I mean, look, I guess technically we're co-hosts, so I have to.
So you have to say yes?
Not always, but you know. No, for sure.
So we had a press conference earlier from the Department of Health and Human Services. They were joined by a state epidemiologist, and they gave some really good information. There are 3 Utahns who are on that ship, and they are apparently in Nebraska right now under quarantine. Yeah. We're not sure exactly if any of them have shown any symptoms. We both got the impression in the press conference that they had not been showing symptoms, that this was a precaution.
Well, and to go even further, here comes my my guessing.
Okay.
I love guessing on viruses. By
on important news subjects. Yeah.
No, but they said so. They did confirm that 2 of the 15 Americans who came back are in Atlanta at a different medical facility. The ones in Nebraska are at a hotel that have really good air filters. So I think there's a difference there between the 2 sets of patients there.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll bring you all the up-to-date information. In the meantime, though, we're going to do you have the Perfect Parent Club?
I don't have it in front of me, but our friend Dave does. Dave is going to hook us up here, and we're going to get the Perfect Parent Club going right here. Let's do it.
You see them in your feed. The parents who do everything right. You could be one too by being ultra judgmental. Ethan and Alex welcome you to the Perfect Parent Club.
You don't even need to be a parent, frankly. In fact, it probably helps to not be so that you can go.
The most perfect parents are usually non-parents.
The ones who haven't been. Yeah.
The ones who usually get it. And even the most clearly.
And another high level of that is like the empty nesters who are like, we had it figured out. Our kids are all gone. And so just let me tell you how it actually should be done.
I had 7 kids. They're all highly specialized surgeons. And one is an ambassador.
We all know that guy.
Anyway.
Or gal.
So here's the deal. The U.S. State Department says that they're going to start revoking passports of parents who owe a significant amount of unpaid child support. So they're going to focus first on parents that owe $100,000 or more in back child support.
Wow.
Which is a ton. Do you know how many?
Who are these people trying to leave the country?
Well, here's the more amazing thing, okay? There are, according to the State Department, 2,700 American passport holders who also owe $100,000 or more in back child support.
Well, and I guess if you owe $100,000 or more, you probably will fly the coop at any cost to be able to avoid it. They're probably looked at it and went, and I love this. I think it's great. I don't know if it's totally. I don't know how much it will work. You know what I mean? Like if someone I don't know. I don't know anybody that owes a significant amount or any amount, frankly, of child support. I've never followed up on. So how are you behind on those payments, or I've never had that conversation, and so I'm wondering if somebody goes, well, dude, I want to go to Nicaragua, but I owe Nancy $300, or I owe her, I guess $2,500 is the wasn't that like the floor? It's like if you owe $2,500 or more, they're going to potentially yank your passport.
That's right. They're going to start with the high dollars. So
my ex-wife, she's asking for all this money, so I was trying to get out of the country, but I can't even leave now. She's all over me.
This would collect in child support, back child support, almost a little over $250 million if they're able to get those 2,700.
We've got a problem.
It's $270 million. Now, Alex,
this is a real indicator of. Listen, hey, America or whomever, everyone. You need to look at how much us as a country owe in back child support. And if it's in the $250 million range, like we've got some issues we need to solve before we start wondering about whether or not you need to go to Disney this month and get that new churro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That gets concerning. It's a concerning number.
I got onto the State Department website, and it says any American with significant child support debt, they said significant child support debt should arrange payment to the relevant state or states now to prevent passport revocation.
That's crazy.
Once a passport is revoked, it may no longer be used for travel. Eligibility for a new passport will only be restored after child support debt is paid.
Wow. I don't hate this at all. I think it's actually a great move. My car won't you can't use the cruise control if everybody in their seats aren't buckled in. It does the thing where it's like, so that's the revocation of the passport when they go in your car where they go, hey, yeah, you can use the cruise control as soon as you buckle up, fatty.
So
come on, man.
There's something interesting though that is in this on the State Department website.
Yeah.
It says, under President Trump, the Department of State is using common sense tools to support American families, et cetera, et cetera. They've put common sense as one word. Have you ever seen common sense written
now,
as
is
one
it
word?
like, does it have the word, does it have...
There's no hyphen. It's just common sense.
Yeah, but is it like capitalized?
Nope.
Does it have a trademark thing next to it?
Nope.
Like
I know this administration loves to capitalize random words. It's like the thing,
yeah.
right? It's just capitalizing.
It sounds like it's a brand. Like, it sounds to me like they're like, oh, we're trying to use common sense. Right?
You're right. It is. It does kind of sound
that's
like
what
that.
And again, they're like, because under my administration, we started the common sense way of doing things. You may remember my program where I revoked everybody's passports who didn't pay their child support.
We got a text in here. It says the state of Utah did this. You can't get a hunting license if you owe back child support.
That's interesting,
Wow.
too. I feel like that would be a crowd that maybe would need it.
Here's another text, international traveler here. Oh, this is the guy that says he's never on board with me. He says you can easily go on a cruise or to Mexico or Canada with just a birth certificate. Is that the case?
I don't know. That sounds like a loophole that we need to close up, man. What do you mean? Like what do you mean you can go on a cruise or out of the country?
We need more information.
We went to Canada last year and it was pretty strict about passport control.
Were they?
Yeah, but they have relationships with the U.S. that seem a little bit more friendly. Obviously, where you're like,
well, back then.
Well, like 6 months ago, like 8 months ago.
Oh, are they still friendly? Well, I'm good. That's good to hear.
I'm just saying, like when we went across them, it was all Canadian and U.S. passport holders over in this line. Yeah. I felt good. You know what I mean? And we went through pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They tackled my 6-year-old. But other than that, I thought it was nice.
I wonder how many people, though, for people who owe $100,000 or more in child support, they're going after those guys first.
Yeah.
How many
or gals.
people,
or gals.
Okay.
How dare you?
Oh, that's Ash.
Oh, good for you,
Ash.
Do
you remember Ash?
Oh, I remember Ash.
He was the one texting in.
I love it.
I thought I kind of recognized that.
It's a 503 number. That's how I always remember
I recognized
Ash.
it.
Yeah.
But how many people do you think would be prompted to pay their back child support, having their passport canceled, or do you think a lot of guys just say, I'll just not go on that cruise, or I just go on this vacation?
Yeah, there's probably a lot. There's probably a lot of that. I think if you're owing $100,000 plus in child support, like that's not the only thing that's getting limited quite a bit in your life. You know what I mean? Like it's not just a hiding from people type of a deal. All right, we're going to come back to our next hour, and we're going to give you so much more on KSL Brightside. You don't want to miss any of it, so stay right here with us.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 2 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Kaplan. KSL's top story, dozens of Utahns rallied at the state capitol today. They were calling for lawmakers to address the child care affordability crisis. KSL News Radio's Adam Small was at the Capitol.
The attendees were not only advocating for lower child care costs, but also a combination of higher wages, so parents have more money opened up for child care as well as other necessities.
We shouldn't tolerate being in a society where people have to choose between groceries or a safe space for their kids.
That's Jefferson Curtis, who helps lead the group Utah Works for Families. We actually have seen a number of bills addressing child care costs in recent years on Utah's Capitol Hill, including one just signed into law that gives businesses a tax credit for providing their own child care.
Advocates, though, say a lot more needs to be done to address the problem. Our top national story from ABC News, the back and forth between the U.S. and Iran continues. President Trump saying he doesn't accept Iran's response to the peace proposal from the U.S.
Reiterating his position that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, President Trump on Monday signaled pessimism about the current state of the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran, telling reporters,
It's unbelievably weak, I would say. I would call it the weakest right now. After reading a piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it.
The president went on to say the ceasefire is on, quote, massive life support, but he insists he's not under any pressure to make a deal to end the conflict. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Your money at this moment, the Dow heading toward the close, up 95 points. Coming up, inching toward 90 degrees now, so where does it end? Well, stay here for KSL weather. It's on the way next. It's 2:01.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Join us at Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, our biggest trade event of the year, May 14th through the 17th. Trade in your RV and get the highest value guaranteed. Then upgrade for less with new RVs starting as low as $94 a month. Plus, take 25% off select maintenance services. Save up to 40% on camp-ready must-haves. And enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Red, White, and New Trade event at your local Camping World, May 14th through the 17th. We'll see you there.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
There's nothing like getting outside, moving, and enjoying time with friends. Utah offers endless ways to get outdoors and stay active. Pickleball, hiking, biking, and more. Staying healthy is fun if you do it safely. Intermountain Health recommends taking time to stretch, warm up, stay hydrated, and pace yourself. These small steps keep activities safe and enjoyable for everyone. Because when you make health and safety part of every activity, you're taking care of what matters most: your life, your health.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans. UCCU. Here's Ricky Meese.
Still in the final cleanup stages, a crash in West Jordan northbound Mountain View corridor at 7800 South in the right lanes, and a crash for Davis County drivers northbound I-15 Hillfield Road. They've been able to get it moved out of traffic to the shoulder in Layton. At UTA, it's never just a ride from point A to point B. They move independence. They move purpose. They move memories. They move what matters. You. Plan your trip at rideuta.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL weather, we should hit 91 this afternoon. It's going to stay in the 90s through Wednesday, but 81 on Thursday. Right now, 88 degrees. I'm Jeff Kaplan from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside with Ethan Miller.
Doug Wright is probably rolling over in his grave hearing us back on the air.
And Alex Curie.
Well, first of all, Doug's not dead, but yeah, he probably would not approve.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
All right, welcome back to KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Miller. I got Alex Curie here with me. And let's do our three things. I know we usually kick off the show with the three things, but that had to be a little postponed because we had the press conference for Utah health officials regarding the 3 Utahns who are on the hantavirus cruise ship. So far, everything's cool, but we're going to do the three things.
Well,
is that you? Are you going to play that?
I'm going to play it. You know why? Because my
computer's back
my thing's working now. Yeah, so I'm all about it. So let's get going here. We've got the 3 things to top off the hour here, so let's do it.
Your top trending stories happening right now. KSL Brightside's The 3 Things.
Oh, all right. Jeez, I went to turn my microphone on.
You ever heard of radio before?
Jeez. It's a dangerous game I'm playing here with this button.
Start yelling at me during the break, and then you go, your mic is still on. I wish people could see how you really treat me in the breaks, dude.
I don't even want to think about that. Now my heart's racing.
I know. It's good.
Okay, gasoline prices. According to Kalshi Traders, Kalshi is one of those prediction markets.
Which we don't do here in the state of Utah, so I don't know why you're using this, but go ahead.
They're saying odds are that the average per gallon price will hit $5.60 per gallon in the United States before all of this is done. Right now,
which means my diesel for one of my diesel cars is going to be like $8 probably. I don't know.
Yeah, right now
I just want to see California hit 10.
You want to see California hit 10?
Yeah. I've seen $7.80. I've seen almost $8 a gallon.
Right now?
Oh yeah. There are places in California where it is definitely It's definitely way up there. I was in Beverly Hills one time for we had to stay for some sports thing that we were doing. We drove by one of the gas stations. It's $7.99 a gallon for like premium, and I remember being like, "Oh my goodness!" And then you come back here and it's a couple bucks less than that. But I don't know. I want to see California hit its first $10 a gallon situation.
Well, these prediction markets are saying that we're going to hit $5.60 before we're done. Average right now, the average is $4.50 per gallon, and now some political leaders, including the president and congressional Republicans, are proposing suspending the federal gas tax to give us a little bit of relief at the pump. The federal gas tax is currently 18 cents per gallon. So that would bring the nation's average from $4.50 to $4.32.
So, So how much is the federal gas tax? It's
18 cents per gallon.
Ooh, and look, I get a little bit of a reprieve, too, because it's 25 cents a gallon for diesel. It's going to help me.
So if you've got a 12-gallon tank, that's 18 cents per gallon.
Yeah, you're saving a couple
that
bucks
would
there.
save you, let's see, 18.
Oh, boy, here comes his dad. Look at him. He's got his phone calculator
I'm
out.
not going to do the math.
It's always bad news to try to do math on the air. Look, you'll save money.
I'm just going to say.
You'll save money.
You'll save money. But honestly, Alex, I don't think I like this. I don't think that I like this idea.
Why? Because then you just defund whatever that goes to? The road situation, the federal road situation?
Yeah. So the high prices right now, we're not the only financial problem and economic problem that we have. We have a huge problem with underfunding the federal government. It's a big problem. The deficit is enormous. And it just doesn't seem smart to me to reduce taxes at this point.
Well, I don't know. I think the average American looks at that and goes, "Oh, thank heavens! Look, they're doing something for us," and that's the whole point, right?
It's 13, it's
a political play. It's 18
cents per gallon.
Yeah. Look at you over here rolling in the gas money.
Well, but that pays for things.
It does. And I think temporarily they could put maybe some of that stuff on hold. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, honestly, the political play is at a premium, right? That's why they're doing it here. They're going, hey, look what we're trying to do for you. We're saving some money at the gas tank for you. And I don't know, obviously, if there's some stuff that it does pay for is there stuff that it pays for on a daily basis? I'm not sure how it works. Like if the federal gas tax, as soon as I go fill up when we leave here, is there a federal Department of Transportation worker who gets his paycheck or are there people who are going to be on, are there going to be people on temporary leave from their federal Department of Transportation job while we try to figure this out?
It becomes deficit spending. It becomes debt, right? It becomes debt.
Which we like to do.
And this is, I think, a problem. I would much rather see relief through some kind of settlement with Iran than suspending the gas tax, because suspending the gas tax multiplies our domestic problems that we already have. So if we want to really attack this where the problem is, we all know what the problem is. The problem is we can't wind things up with Iran. So let's get that done, and then we don't have to worry about that. Then the gas tax can just be what it is and pay for the things that it pays for. So I kind of feel like that would be a bad move to suspend the gas tax.
My goodness, somebody sent me – look, I've got a friend who just sent me a screenshot.
What is it?
Big Sur, California, April of 2026, last month. And they said, yeah, Big Sur hit $9.99 a gallon.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like in a place where people actually live, or is this
Big Sur is in California?
Is this the gas station next to the Hertz rental car?
They said a remote. You know, that's kind of funny. I would love for you to pull up to Hertz and be like, it sounds like you guys are actually cheaper.
So let me tell you, one of the most frustrating things that ever happened to me is when I was in Phoenix. This was last year. And we had rented a car going back to return to the airport. And so I map out, okay, there's a gas station really close to where we turn in the rental cars. Okay. Yeah. And it was kind of the only gas station out there.
Yeah, and they know that that's where people are hitting it first before they go back and have to return the vehicles.
And I pull in, and I get the card out, I start going, and that's when I noticed the price per gallon was
$1 more than normal.
Oh no.
It's $1 less than it was at the counter, but it was $2.50 more per gallon than it was at the.
When I saw that price, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked, and then I was mad.
Oh, well, the shocking part is to see a $9.99 on a screen. They just did, and the only reason it's only $9.99 is because they didn't have room for for quadruple digits. Do you remember I remember when I was a kid and my kids were asking me one time, and this makes me sound old, but I remember filling up for 89 cents a gallon when I was in high school. This was in the late 90s.
I remember the first time I saw gas prices hit $1 in my life.
And you're like, we can't go back now.
I was young. My mom was so mad.
Oh, yeah, because they had to add digits to the...
She was furious.
Yeah. Well, and now you get to $10 a gallon, and at this point you just go, well, I guess this is where we're at now.
This is what we do.
But you had to see, I mean, I'm showing you now because somebody texted it into me, but then I'm also like looking at actual screenshots to see a $9.99 on top of that. It's pretty wild. Yeah, anyway. Was that just the first thing of the three things, Ethan? I don't know if we got to this one.
So Ash texted in. He said, as soon as Iran's oil is allowed to flow through the floor will fall out of the market. And I think that's true.
I hope so. And then we get back to, okay, so do you remember when, what was it? It was back when it was 2008, 2009 when things got really bonkers and we hit $4.30 a gallon. I remember this very clearly because we were having our first child back in 2008. And do you remember when gas went crazy? And then I told you, I go, dude, because we were looking for an SUV.
Yeah,
and they couldn't freaking get rid of them.
You got one for a song.
Oh my gosh!
Don't you still have that?
No, but because we had too many children and we needed a bigger SUV.
The Suburban wasn't cutting.
No, it was the Tahoe.
Oh, it was the Tahoe.
Yeah, because the Tahoe we needed the extra.
You got the Honda. That was the Honda Civic of
right.
SUVs.
Right. So we get a Tahoe, but I remember walking in and the guy goes, "That's not the price you saw." I go, "I think it is," and he goes over to his internet manager. The internet manager goes, "Yeah, that is what we're doing.
That's where we are."
And I was like. And I put a deposit down, and it was crazy because we bought it, and they were like, well, and obviously with $4.30 a gallon, which back in 2008 was crazy, but they immediately went down to like 2009. You remember they went to like $1.60. And I remember being like, I'm the biggest genius on planet Earth. Gas went to $1.60 like immediately after all that, after we bought that super cheap SUV, and then they went back up again at some point.
We got this text.
Yeah.
It says, you want to pay off Iran? No thanks, Obama. When did KSL go liberal? I'm out.
What are we talking about? I don't
What
remember
did you
this.
say, Alex?
I thought it was it something you said? I don't remember saying pay off Iran. Did you say that?
No.
Oh, I don't know when we got back. I don't know when we said that at all. I was just saying, hey, when is gas going to get down to less than $10 a gallon in Big Sur, California?
I just said, hey, the only thing that's going to bring gas prices down is when we wrap this thing up with Iran.
Millard.
Yep.
Did we did the three things, but we only did one of the things.
We did the important one.
Oh,
I just wanted to give you a chance to, spread your weird liberalism.
I wanted you to be able to defend Iran over here. That's why I wanted to give you some extra time. I love being on the radio because this happens every time. I don't know I don't know when you said. I assume it was you.
He texted again. Is funding abortions next?
Oh boy,
he's going straight for the throat, man.
He's going at you. Are you still working? My favorite thing is too when people go, "You still working with that liberal guy?" And I go, "Who? You still working with that liberal guy over at KSL?"
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still stuck on helping Iran win this war. So that's where I am.
I forgot when you came on this radio station, Ethan. You were going to become that guy.
I know. I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
Oh my goodness! All right,
all right. Let's. Should we do the other two things when we come back? The other two of the three.
Sure. And we'll get back into because we also have a couple of things to jump into as well from a local standpoint because we do have the Utah Jazz may have officially almost turned this ship around. Officially, almost. One of my favorite things to do. So stay right here with us. It's KSL Brightside.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see, quality you can feel, and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org.
A new Bernina sewing, quilting, or embroidery machine from Dave's Bernina in St. George and Provo is a wonderful gift for mom, sister, daughter, or the new graduate. Hi, Cindy Olsen here to tell you about their big May sale. Save hundreds to thousands on Bernina 770, 570, 335, and quilting models. And ask about special discounts on add-on accessories. How about a limited time offer of 48 months, no interest on certain machine purchases? Burnett machines start at $299 and include a free case. See the world-famous Bernina 990 model. Come in now for bargains on trade-ins and demo machines that come with 2-year warranties. Bernina machines provide unmatched quality and ease of use. All new Berninas come with a 5-year warranty and free classes. Don't miss the sale at Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North 550 West in Provo. Dave'sBernina.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
If you've got a honey-do list with electrical, plumbing, heating, or air conditioning projects on it, Any Hour Services can help. Call Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air. AnyHourServices.com.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex. Turn your afternoon around on KSL News Radio.
Turn your afternoon around. That's a great way to talk about the KSL Brightside. Boy, did you hear that?
Hey, everybody, mark it down. That's the first time we called it the Nightside Project after all these years.
Yep.
It only took a week for us to get into it, and here we are.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Good.
All right, we promised we'd do the other two things and our top three things.
Yeah, and I wanted to break into the sports side of it, if you'll allow me to roll out some of the sports.
You got something you want to roll? Okay, then I'm going to shelve these other two things.
Well, those are boring.
Show me.
But I did want to get to a couple things going on in the world of the Utah Jazz, the Utah Mammoth, any of the Smith Entertainment Group-owned properties. First, the Delta Center is getting updated, of course, and the parking garage is that's on that, what would that be, the southwest side of the building there. The parking is going to be that private parking for the players, and so for years they just had it was still private, but the thing was it was kind of open. They didn't have it covered, and so now they want the covered parking there at the southwest side. That part's getting figured out. But they're also, every year they're trying to, over the next couple of years, they're trying to figure out how to make it to where, or not they're trying to figure it out, they're engineering the building. Right now it's a basketball arena. And that's one thing that's been a struggle is the hockey side of things is there are a couple places in the building still that are one goal views only inside of the ice.
Really?
So, yeah. And so that was one of the things they had to change with the building was it's a full basketball kind of venue. And now to be able to maximize the seating on top of being able to have views from all of the different seats there.
So why is there obstructed view? Is it because the ice rink is bigger than the basketball court?
I think so, but also I think it's the boards make it difficult because the boards, on a basketball court, it's all open. Right. In the hockey arena, you have the boards that come up part way and they're solid around the side, and so you actually have, and then glass that comes up over that, and so. If you're flattened out at all on those sides, then those boards end up kind of making it a problem to be able to see the goal.
There's not enough rake there
pitch.
Or slope pitch.
Yeah, and so you've got, and that's what they're doing is that they're kind of making a little bit more so you can see down onto the ice versus just straight over the boards were in the way. I don't know what the mathematics are to go into it, except for that they're making it a little by little every time to where they're making it to where you can see those goals, and they're getting better and better every year, but we're getting to that point. But more importantly, the Utah Jazz. So I don't know if you know this, Ethan, there's a big conspiracy theory that the NBA is, well, in the NFL, the NHL.
They don't like the Utah. They don't like Utah.
Well,
teams?
not just that. I mean, that's certainly.
Because
a
I'm
thing.
familiar with that. That dates back.
Yeah,
to,
but the conspiracy is that the NBA has certain teams that it wants to win the lottery. Because last year and the last handful of years, there have been crazy, like teams with mathematical odds less than 1%, less than 5% to win the first pick of the lottery. Because if you're the worst team in the league, you have the highest odds. And in the Jazz case, they've been not good for the last handful of years, which is difficult for us because we don't do that. You know, we were just used to the team making the playoffs for 20-plus years with Jerry Sloan, and then even after they might have a year down or two, they would get right back into it again. And this has been the longest stretch since the team came here from New Orleans that they've been out of the playoffs. And the Utah Jazz, for the lottery last year, they had the worst record in the league, and they ended up with the 5th pick, which, like, mathematically was a pretty tough draw. And the team that got it was a team who had less than 1% of the odds to win it, which is the Dallas Mavericks, who had just traded away Luka Doncic to LA. And so they're like, the commissioner is going to give them the first pick in the lottery, right? And he's going to rig it because as a thank you for sending
is that
the best players
realistic?
in the league.
Is that realistic though?
Probably not, but it's still fun to be able to conspire with. But the Jazz got the number 2 pick. Numerically, they had them about at the 5th, 6th, or 7th pick for about the number that they were probably going to get. And then after a few things happened, then the Jazz ended up looking like, okay, they're going to have a top 4 spot considering some of the teams that had been kicked out of the draft or had lost spots in the lottery. So numerically, it got down to it. Then it was like, okay, they're going to be in the top 4. And then when their name wasn't picked at number 4, it's like, okay, they got the top 3. Not picked at number 3. They were either going to have the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick, and they ended up with the number 2 pick, and the Washington Wizards ended up with number 1. They're expected to likely take A.J. DeBonsa, who's the BYU superstar. I say the Wizards are. But the Jazz might make a deal for him as well. So that's a big deal. If they can get even more. So I think that the corner is being turned. And, of course, it took less than 24 hours for the lottery results to hit that Utah was going to pick number 2 in the lottery in the draft overall this year.
Yeah.
For me to get an email from the Jazz and say, Jazz are picking 2nd. Put in your season ticket deposits now. And I thought, well, that's kind of a fun. It's a great.
Is this the most cost effective way though to build a team? To kind of put everything on that one pick.
Yeah, nothing's cost effective like in the NBA because you just have to. I mean, they have salary caps.
Because you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like is basically they said, all right, we're either going to have a championship team or we're going to have no team.
Yeah, and that was the thing that's the debate every year. It's like, okay, the commissioner has to figure out a way. They've incentivized teams to be bad. If they aren't going to the playoffs, then you better be the worst team so you can get the best pick. And so they've tried to flatten the odds. They've had to try to come up with all these different scenarios to try to do it, to try to make it more fair, so to speak.
But maybe I'm just naive. But whatever happened to just finding good players and coaching them well and building that program and attracting people in?
Yeah, free agency is tough, and free agency doesn't really exist anymore. The thing is that drawing players in to the state of Utah is a difficult sell compared to drawing them in and coaching them and getting them good to be. So, they'll be on a mediocre team, but in LA more than they would want to be on a good team in Utah. So
how often is this happening though, where a team goes from being among the worst in the NBA to the very next year?
It happened very recently. So
is this how it is now? I mean, is this now going to be the best way to?
I mean, that's the thing is that they have been doing this for a while, getting a really, really good draft pick, drafting well, and trading for guys. Those are the ways to do it because free agency isn't really a thing anymore. You've got to trade to get guys. So they traded during the season to get a really, really good player out of Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr. And then with the number 2 pick now, they've got a couple of great young guys that they feel like they could bring in. I don't know if it's going to end up being A.J. DeBonsa if they trade for that pick to be able to get Washington, convince them to give it up because A.J. DeBonsa played at BYU. He prepped partly in high school here in the state of Utah. So it goes. He was in high school, ended his high school career in Utah, played his 1 year of college ball in Utah, and then if he's able to go to the Jazz, which, by the way, Ryan Smith is kind of connected to all those spots, and so I think that a lot of people would be like, they showed him too in the conspiracy. Well, not necessarily a conspiracy, but they had him and a bunch of other players at the draft lottery last night. Mm-hmm. Nobody's being drafted. But as soon as they were like, and the Washington Wizards get the first pick in the draft this year, and they show him in the crowd, and just a dead-faced reaction to it, and people are like, "Look how pissed!"
Is he mad or is it just poker face?
I don't know, but it works out well. If it said the Utah Jazz got the number 1 pick, I bet you would have seen a big smile on his face. Here's the thing: regardless, he gets a guaranteed amount of money that rolls in when you're the number 1 overall pick in these drafts, and it's in the $25 to $35 million range. I can't remember what the number is.
What are the odds are? Do you think are good odds that he's going to try and make a deal for Devensa?
It's Danny Ainge and Austin Ainge. They love making deals, man, and they are pretty bonkers about doing it. So we'll see what Justin Zanuck and the Ainge family do with this one, and so at the behest of, the ownership. Ryan Smith probably has a dog in the fight, but he lets his guys run this thing, and I think he knows that they know what the best is for the team.
Have these guys taken on a lot of extra risk? Because what happens if this doesn't work out?
What
happens if they spend all this time? Let's say, with the owners or with management, with Ainge. They've gone through this traumatic experience, right? Because they were even fined for what was going on. If this doesn't work out, if this doesn't work out, at what point does the Jazz just disband and join other teams?
They become they expand and go to another. It's not going to be that. This is a team that tries. There are teams who don't try any of the years, and they're in the bottom of the lottery every dang year, and they don't even care. And the Jazz are just not that type of organization. They're trying to win, and you're going to see it turn a corner this year. They've made moves. I think it's going to happen. So. Good news for Jazz fans. So buy your season tickets today. They just told me, hey, you got to buy your season tickets, man, because we just got the number 2 pick overall. So why not? Why not have to do it? Will you explain to me what's going on with this Utah Historical Museum deal that you put in the rundown? Because I'm kind of curious about it.
Yeah, I can. So they've rebuilt the Capitol complex. They've spent the last. Geez, when did they start rebuilding that? What was back when they redid?
I want to say like 10 years ago.
I think it was more than that.
Because I've seen the cranes up there for, it feels like a decade plus.
And they built those 2 other outbuildings when they were renovating the Capitol because they all met there. And I think that was 20 years ago, Alex.
That's crazy.
To be honest with you.
I lived right across the street for a while, and it seems like it's been under construction since then, which was back in 2005.
So one of those buildings there, I think the one at the back of the property is going to become a Utah Historical Museum. Now, this is our first state historical museum. We are actually
We've never had one?
No, and we're one of 2 states. You know what other state doesn't have one?
Some backwoods state we don't want to be associated with. If it's Idaho, I'll be pretty upset.
Nope. Idaho, proud of their history.
They got one.
They've got one.
What is it?
It's Hawaii.
I feel like they would have a pretty cool historical museum too. Is it like us? They just haven't taken the initiative?
I guess.
What's our problem? Why wouldn't we do it? We're big on history in this state.
I didn't even realize we didn't have one. Because there are ways to learn about Utah history, and they've always had like historical displays up at the Capitol. Do you remember when the Mormon meteor was in the Capitol building there in the basement?
Oh,
that big car?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So they've always had that. I just never realized that we never had a quote-unquote history museum. So this is going to be cool. They say they've got about 30,000 artifacts that are currently stuffed away in storage locations, and they can't fit 30,000 in this new museum, but they've got it all set. So
plus, let's be honest,
rotating.
Out of the 30,000, there's probably some duds. You know what I mean?
I guaranteed there's some duds.
They're all, what was this? It's one of the 30,000 artifacts. We're throwing it away.
This is a glass bottle.
It's going to Deseret. It's going to DI. Sorry.
That's actually where we got this artifact.
And actually, you know what? We've had historical museums in the state of Utah for years. They're DIs. They're all in DI locations. They're just operated. You go in there. I got this golf club. Where'd you get it? Well, Utah Historical Museum. They were selling it for $2. Oh, man. I love it.
Oh, geez. Among the items, though, so they're going to, every several months, they'll be rotating things out because they want to show as much as they have.
Mm-hmm.
But among the things they have is a shirt that was worn by Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly in Back to the Future Part 3 because some of that was filmed in Monument Valley.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so,
because I'm thinking number 3 is the Old West one. Okay, good.
You know what? So they went. The state bought that at auction for $45,000.
Is that a good price? That seems steep to me.
It's the first. I've never bought anything like that before, so I don't know if that's a good price. But you know what's funding this? This is actually interesting. You know,
the federal gas tax that we just eliminated.
No, this is being funded by the black license plates.
Oh, listen, and it's getting funded, man. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, they got
Utahns
money.
Utahns are pouring in with the black license plates. We got sucked into it. We have a couple of them in our garage.
Yeah, well,
I like them better than the other ones.
Well, I want to say thank you.
You're welcome
for this museum, Alex. And you know, when they open it, let's go up and check it out.
Yep.
And
I want to do it.
And you
wait, when's it going to open?
It opens. Oh, geez.
If we're not doing a remote from there, I'm going to be mad. You know what? I'm pushing right now.
Just call them and say, I bought 3 of those license plates.
I deserve to be in that grand opening. We're going to put our radio show right there.
Less than 2 months.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, a couple more segments left in the program, including, the state of Texas going at Netflix hardcore. We'll tell you why next, right here on KSL Brightside.
Good afternoon. It's 2:32 at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Kaplan. Our top local story this hour. Expect delays getting into Salt Lake City Airport starting today. Through Memorial Day weekend, the airport has started work repaving all their roads. That includes not only the departure and arrival, pickup and drop-off points, but also the rental car lanes as well.
I think it's really important to know that it could be backed up. And so it would be a smart idea, a really wise idea for people to plan extra time.
Airport spokesperson Nancy Vollmer says they're going to keep 2 lanes open at all times, but the single exit outbound inevitably leads to backups. The construction goes through May 27th. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. New polling suggests young people are less hopeful about job prospects. Here's ABC's Mike Dubusky.
Young people are less optimistic about finding a job than older Americans are, according to a new Gallup poll. 43% of those surveyed between the ages of 18 and 34 say it's a good time to find a job. That marks a 27% decline from 2023, similar to feelings expressed in the lead-up to the financial crisis of 2009. When researchers asked those over 55, 64% reported optimism about the job market. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Your money at this moment. The Dow, it was up 95 points today. Markets closed now. The NASDAQ up 27 points. And coming up, record heat today and beyond. KSL weather is on the way next. KSL News Time, 2:34.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Utah homeowners, listen up. If your roof is over 15 years old and you've had recent storm damage, now's the time to act. Hey, it's Josh with IWC Roofing, and we've built our reputation on quality, integrity, and taking care of homeowners the right way from start to finish. IWC Roofing, Utah's highest-rated roofing company, is now offering $2,500 off your new roof replacement, plus a free upgrade package to maximize your home's protection and value. But that's not all. We're giving away a free roof. Yep, you heard me. One homeowner will receive a brand new roof free. The winner to be announced August 1st. And here's where it gets even better. When you call and mention this radio ad, you'll receive double entries to win. Appointments are filling up fast, and this offer won't last. Call now for your free inspection and estimate. 801-232-5690. That's 801-232-5690. Save $2,500, get upgraded, and you could win a brand new roof. Call IWC Roofing today, 801-232-5690. Restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. See IWCRoofingUtah.com for details and rules.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes, brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Good speeds on the Valley freeways, but in Davis County, a crash with possible injuries affecting both east and westbound directions of SR 193 at 10th East. This is going to be just west of I-15. You'll also see crews in Utah County responding to an accident northbound I-15 about 1600 North Orem. South traffic on the shoulder. Live at the Eccles presents River Dance. 5 performances Friday through Sunday, beginning May 22nd at the Eccles Theater. Tickets at liveeccles.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL weather starting this afternoon. 3 days of temperatures in the low 90s. Thursday, we only reach 81 and it cools off from there. But right now, 88 degrees. I'm Jeff Kaplan from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at KSLNewsRadio.com. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside with Ethan Miller.
And you're sure management's okay with this?
And Alex Curie.
I thought you cleared it with them.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
All right, welcome back. This is KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Miller here with Alex Curie. And yesterday, I wanted to take a nice Mother's Day drive. The whole family, nice drive. Enjoy that beautiful, beautiful late spring day we had. This has been the best spring, Alex. Just long and amazing.
Yeah.
It started in January.
Ends today. I was going to say ends today with the 90s.
We're wrapping it up now. But, boy, hasn't it been a great, just long, amazing spring?
I will say that
I've loved it.
We were up in Idaho for a baseball tournament this weekend, and I was like, man, it was like borderline chilly, and I was like, this is awesome. The sun's out. You're right. It's been perfect weather, man.
At this point, global warming, I'm all about it.
I've been on board for years.
I'm fine with letting the future hold what it holds. I'm just going to love this, right?
Just like enjoy
I didn't shovel snow this year. It was great.
I don't think I've shoveled snow the last 2 years, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I haven't fired up my snowblower, which I love. And I'm actually sad that we don't get to fire it up as often anymore.
I'll tell you though. So yesterday I wanted to go on the nice drive, and I thought, well, let's drive up Big Cottonwood Canyon, then over. It's been a while since I did Guardsman's Pass.
Yeah.
But I looked it up; it's closed.
Oh, it is,
and it wasn't going to open until like May 31st. I thought, oh well, we won't do that. Well, actually, now it's open. It opened today.
Oh, look at that!
UDOT says, hey, guess what? We're doing it early. We don't need to keep it closed. It's basically, it's if the road is snow free, so we're just going to open it 2 or 3 weeks early.
I like
earlier
it.
than they had planned. So maybe I'll do that this weekend. Maybe I'll take that drive this weekend.
Well, I haven't done that drive. When we lived in Salt Lake, we did it a couple times, but yeah, it's been nice for the sake of being able to travel and not worry about the ice on the roads. But,
I just wish.
Again, these are unintended consequences of
you know what we need
of us not getting water and not getting enough snow. It's like, yeah, but I didn't crash this weekend on the slick roads because there wasn't any slick roads.
Well, you know what we need though. So I do wish that Guardsman's Pass was a little bit more of an easier route than having to go, because from where I am, I could get to Park City easily going straight over the top.
Sure,
but I have to go all the way through Parley's. So what I think they ought to do is let's just run an elevated roadway, just right up and over that pass, just like we do overpasses, down here in the valley, right up and over, do 70 miles an hour from the gravel pit in Cottonwood Heights.
Just all the way over.
All the way up and over to,
It's like an express lane. You can't get out of it. You're not allowed to leave it. Once you get in it, you got to stay on it.
Yeah. But we
gotta
can
get all
build
the way to
that,
the other
right?
side.
Can we build that?
Well, not when we're eliminating gas taxes.
Yeah, I guess that's
on the
true.
way to
So
be able to do it. Can't do it.
But that'll be a fun drive. I just barely saw that headline on KSL.com, so I thought I'd mention it.
Nice of you.
By the way, we'd love for you to join the Brightside Project at noon. So at noon every day before we do the show over the air.
You just said project again.
Did I say the Nightside Project?
No,
or
you
the
said Brightside Project, which I still feels right to me.
I need to take a break. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Restart.
We would love for you to join us on KSL Brightside at noon. We do a live stream on YouTube, and it is so great. We hang out with such cool people there. So if you're having lunch at your desk at work and you need someone to hang out with, pull up YouTube and check out our live stream. We kick it off at about 12:05 actually is when we kick it off.
If you're driving over Guardsman, trying to get the Guardsman way over there, then or Guardsman Pass, you can listen to us all.
Just put your tablet up on the dash.
No, don't do that. We cannot say that we endorse that in any way. But you can listen. You can absolutely listen to us.
That's good. Thanks for jumping in there with that.
No, I just had to try to do the KSL news thing and go, do not. But you can also text, by the way, 57500 if you want to weigh in on the program as well.
We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it at noon. It's there on YouTube. It's
look,
so
this
fun.
one says
just
that
look for KSL Brightside on YouTube.
This
Yes.
texter said the same thing. Most of the Mountain Canyon gates have opened early. Diamond Fort Canyon also open early. So there you go.
So good. All right, Netflix today is being sued by the state of Texas. The state of Texas is saying that Netflix has not been honest with the data that they collect.
Oh, wow.
They're saying that Netflix always said that they don't collect and sell data on their subscribers. In fact, part of the Texas complaint says that in 2020, they have Reed Hastings, who was Netflix CEO, and I think Reed was also the founder, wasn't he? Reed Hastings.
Is that the guy who bought part of Powder Mountain up here?
I have no idea. Saying in 2020, quote, "We don't collect anything." And he said that as a way to distinguish Netflix from Amazon, Facebook, and Google, which are heavy data scrapers. And so he said, we don't collect anything. Turns out, though, that they actually have been collecting and selling data this whole time. So Texas is selling them. Now, this is what...
Suing them, yeah. What are they suing? So what are they selling them? What do they say that we're not collecting anything and then they are?
They're saying that that's the point. So they're saying Netflix said that they weren't collecting and selling this data. It turns out they are. Texas says that violates the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act. And in the complaint, they said this: Netflix's end game is simple and lucrative. Get children and families glued to the screen, harvest their data while they're stuck there, and then monetize the data for handsome profit. When you watch Netflix watches you, which they
Sounds
ripped
very
off
scary.
of. You know who they ripped that
What,
off
The Matrix?
of?
What?
No, they ripped it off of that Yakov Smirnov. In Soviet Union,
Data watches you.
In Soviet Union, TV watches you.
Yeah, Netflix watches you in Soviet Union.
I don't have the full complaint here. I'm hoping and I'm assuming that Texas included a footnote and an attribution to that comedian.
To Yakov Smirnov, yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, I will say that if they've been selling it and they said they weren't, like the thing where they go, they're trying to get these kids addicted to Netflix. I was like, well, yeah, that's what. When you say addicted to Netflix, what are we talking about? They're like, well, they just play the next episode or whatever. Are they? When they say harvest their information too, it makes it sound like they're harvesting organs. It makes it sound like that you end up in a bathtub with.
How do you know they're not?
I don't like the word harvest. They're like they're harvesting your data.
It is an aggressive word for sure, but Texas is asking that the company purge all the data it collected illegally.
Yeah.
To specifically request users' consent when drawing data for targeted advertising. Now, Alex, I do see what you're saying. Of course, it's smart for Netflix to deliver content that people want to watch and to learn and figure out how to maximize that exposure. But I think at a certain point, though, isn't it worth determining that what is smart for a company to do might also be actually, though, bad for us overall? We've done that in the past. We did that with things like smoking, right? It was really smart for cigarette companies to market cigarettes the way they did. It was smart. It was good, really good business decision. They were smart for it.
Not good for the public.
Terrible for the public.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to understand that there's a lot here in the online world that is actually really, really bad.
Well, it's one of the,
so
it's been tough because they were obviously very, very much and they're ahead of it. The tech companies, they will take the inch or they'll take the mile, and then when they're told to walk it back to an inch, it takes a while too for that. And so you're right. They're ahead of it in that sense. I feel like with Netflix, even if they just saw my household and it didn't have my quote unquote information, but they saw that I had 4 child accounts that are on there and then 2 adult accounts or whatever, then they go, we already know. And just based off of what I'm watching, then they go, based off of what you're watching, we know that your 4 kids are between the ages of this and this, and then we can market to that. And technically we're not getting quote unquote, what counts as personal information. You know what I mean? They can probably skate that line and go, we didn't collect any of that data. All we were doing is it was saying, the difference was adults and children, and obviously homes have adults and children, and then we just were, all it was telling us was if they had more than 1 children account, and we were just trying to make sure that they were being safe. We were trying to protect them.
Isn't that amazing how much our attitudes have changed over time? How freaked out we were about data collection and all those opportunities years and years ago, and now today we just assume that it's happening. That exposure that we've had over the years has really kind of deadened our concern for it. And so I don't know. I'll be interested to watch and see how successful Texas is, because it sometimes feel like I'll look at my kids who are just, zombies on their phones, and I'll wonder if we're sleepwalking into something that we might regret over the long term. So opportunities like this, in my mind, are kind of refreshing. So, all right, we got to grab a quick break. When we come back, we've got the final segment.
Not just that. We've got a easy way for you to understand hantavirus symptoms in case those hit at your house. They won't, by the way. And also, on top of it, things that have been ruined because they've become too popular. Stay right here with us. It's KSL's Brightside.
Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors. And let's face it, it's time to update the look of your home's exterior. When was that thing built? In the 50s, 70s, 90s, the 2000s? Well, it's looking like it. Faded siding, drafty windows, leaky gutters. It's time to take action now. RGS Exteriors has been taking Utah homes from drab to fab for over 5 generations. We only use the highest quality materials, like James Hardy siding and gutter topper gutter covers. You will be blown away by how much different and better and awesome your house can look. Your neighbors will be jealous, your home value will go up, and most of all, you're going to love it. Everything we do comes with our industry-leading 10-year everything guarantee, so you can sleep like a baby, knowing if anything goes wrong, you're 100% covered. For a free estimate on your gutters, windows, siding, or anything on your outside of your home, call RGS Exteriors at 801-280-3110 or visit us at rgsexteriorsutah.com. That's rgsexteriorsutah.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex. Your lunch hour just got more interesting on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to KSL Brightside. We got a couple of really nice texts right in a row at 57500. This one says...
Offsets the mean ones we got earlier about you and your liberalism.
No. I've outed myself.
For no
apparently.
reason.
All right. This one says, thanks for bringing Alex and Ethan back. They are the best.
We are.
And then this one says, it's really great to have you guys back on the air.
Contractually, how long do we have to keep these welcome back posters up in the studio?
I think they're permanent.
They'll be up there if we don't touch them. Then they'll stay up for a long, long time. That's what I'm saying. Like if we just these posters will be here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it next to my wife's side of the bed. I'm going to take one of these home and just put it right there next to her side of the bed when she wakes up. Just scare the absolute. What is going on here?
I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in the front yard.
Put it on your porch facing out to the street.
My family would be so mortified.
Oh,
they would
so
just
mad.
die.
I love it.
All right. And we got a text related to what we were chatting about there at the end, and that is how we, how we've kind of become a little deadened to some of the privacy issues and things like that.
Because we want our tech, we'll put up with it.
We'll put up with
it.
Right. And also, we've largely gotten away with it. A lot of the catastrophic things haven't seen, but you still get that sense of that chipping away of something. And you're not sure that it's necessarily the right direction. But this individual says, this is DJ. DJ said, when I was young, I was told, don't get in a car with a stranger, and now I call Uber. It's a great example of how much that changes.
You offer in Soviet Union,
TV watches you.
Yeah, and you give the candy to the stranger to get into their car, right? That's the thing now. Hey, can I get in your car? Here's some money.
I remember when I was young that the whole idea, it was the microchip. The humans could be microchipped.
Yeah.
You have a microchip in your hand.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then that would be required to pay
or
for
the
everything.
barcode tattoo on the back of the neck. That was another fun one.
And I've gotten so used to all this technology that sometimes when I'm trying to buy something, I'm like, give me the microchip. Can I just get a microchip? Do I have to get my wallet out again? Do I really have to double click the side button on my phone again to get Apple Pay to come up?
Listen,
Where's the microchip?
This is my beef against the Walton family.
They've got it for dogs. They've got it for dogs. Yeah. Why can't they have it for me?
Here's my beef against the Walton family. You have to insert a card at Walmart or Sam's. Unless you do like the scan and go thing they do at Sam's. But at Walmart, and all my cards, the chips are just like decimated by rubbing up against each other in my wallet forever because I have one of those like thin wallets, and they're just all ruined after like 6 months. And Walmart's like, looks like you don't have any money to pay for this. I'm like, I do, but you guys won't they don't do tap. You can't do tap at Walmart.
Tap, yeah.
And so I'm always like, it's because it's a little dollar saving situation for them.
Yeah.
As long as they can get you a point of sale to do the actual like present a physical card, they get money from the companies, or they have to pay less of a fee or whatever it is. So anyway,
I've started using tap because I have a card, my primary card. I have one card that everything goes through, and I do it for the benefits. I do it so that I can
you get the points.
That's
what we do.
I do traveling every year, and it relies on this method, and so I use it, and it started delaminating. And that's when I switched to the tap. I didn't do the tap forever. I didn't do tap. Not tap. I'm sorry. I didn't do Apple Pay forever.
Oh.
The phone tap.
Yeah.
I didn't do that forever. I just would get my card out. And then it started splitting and delaminating. Yeah. And then that's when I finally got serious and I used the Apple Pay on the phone. And now that's what I use, and it's going great. So.
The front end of the show, we, of course, had a news conference. Well, it wasn't even a news conference. It was what they called a media scrum at the Department of Health here in the state of Utah, where they said, hey, look, here's what's going on with the hantavirus stuff. 3 people from the state of Utah are part of the 15 that were exposed to it, or at least were on the ship.
On the ship, 15 Americans.
15 Americans, 3 of them from Utah. So 13 of those went to Nebraska. 2 of them went to Atlanta. As far as we know, the Utahns are at the Nebraska facility because that's who Governor Herbert, why do I keep saying that? Hello. The Governor Spencer Cox has been working with the governor of Nebraska. Now, we did want to dumb it down a little bit because I thought, we have a little bit of a younger crowd who listens sometimes, and maybe if we wanted to help them understand what symptoms were, they brought it up. They said, hey, here are some of the symptoms with hantavirus. Now, it's not communicable.
Yep. All those work.
I got it. It's in my, you can't re-say it after a few times.
Yeah.
But they did want to educate you a little bit on what this was, and I dumbed it down for the rest of us who need music to be able to explain it to it. So here's what hantavirus sounds like when it comes to your actual symptoms here, as provided in the form of rap.
Started like a cold one morning, body aches and fever chills. Thought you shake it by the weekend, thought it was some virus still. Then your chest got tight and heavy, like the air was running thin. That's the danger people missing when hantavirus settles in. If you can't catch your breath, if your fever won't slow down, if your muscles ache like heartbreak and exhaustion drags you down, don't ignore the warning signs, don't just sleep and hope it ends. Hantavirus starts like flu, then it hits you hard again.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah, I'm asleep and hope for the best guy.
I know. I'm one of those guys too. When your muscles ache like heartbreak. That's a real thing.
That's a phenomenal.
When the lady came in with mouse droppings, like I was like, all right, I'm out. We don't need the rest of this song the rest of the way.
We don't need the gory details.
If you were wondering what the symptoms are, somebody did point out via text there, like Gene Hackman's wife. That's what she passed away from.
Yeah, it's a serious thing. So as you're doing spring cleaning, I mean, this is a good reminder. Don't sweep out those mouse traps. If you've got an area where there have been rodents, don't sweep it out. Don't vacuum.
No.
Get some water and disinfectant in there. Damp it down and then wipe it up. Because if it gets airborne, that's what gets you.
Yeah, do what we did. So. Just sell the house.
Just walk away from it.
I think there've been some rodents here. All right.
Anyway,
well,
you'll love this house. Don't go in this room in the basement or the shed.
We haven't been there for years, and we're not going to go in. So
we recommend you not.
Congratulations, yeah.
So, but if you're, I guess that's kind of the latest on the hantavirus. You were making fun of me last week because I kept wanting to talk about it.
You brought it up too much. Yeah, now, you did.
But now look, now the rest of the world is catching up to my interest in this. So we had on the program a little earlier, and you can find this, by the way, and you'll be able to hear some of this today with Jeff Kaplan. Coming up here in a few minutes, but he'll have more information on what they talked about in this press conference and what the details are. And so our understanding is there are those 3 Utahns stuck in Nebraska watching Netflix if they could remember their password.
You saw it. They got to come over. What were the details that I liked from today were
flying on the private jet.
They got to take a private jet home.
Yeah, that was cool.
They got on the private jet. I'm assuming they got
peanuts.
Well, like what?
Tomato juice?
Well, just some.
Or the Bloody Mary mix like you like?
I like the Bloody Mary mix
ale?
on the plane because I'm classy like that. Like, I don't know, do you have any vegetables that have a ton of garlic in it?
And
so
then the flight
attendant
attendant says, "Oh, this man is interesting. Everyone wants a Diet Coke, but he wants the."
They roll their eyes and go, ugh, and they go to the bottom drawer. They pull it out and they go, "Can I have the can?" No, you can't.
No.
The rest of the plane says you can't have it. All right, so there you go, man. Ethan. First breaking news day since being back onto the.
I thought we did amazing.
We had to do the press conference, so to make it.
I thought we did great.
Make it official again, but yes, feels like we're back in the seat again. But guess who's back in the seat? Jeff Kaplan. You're going to want to get the real news coming up next, and we'll be back tomorrow for the other news on KSL Brightside.
KSL FM Midvale.